Once upon a time, a princess named Aku Wealth lived in the beautiful kingdom of Nkwerre in Igbo land. She was known throughout the land for her kind heart and her charming personality. Aku's beauty was second to none. She had long, dark, braided hair, and her eyes were a deep shade of brown that sparkled in the sunlight. Her brown skin was smooth and flawless, and she had a radiant smile that could light up a room. Nkwerre was a wealthy village known for its resources, but Akiyu was the true gem of the village. She welcomed visitors from all over with open arms and made them feel at home. Her kindness and empathy for others were well known throughout the land. Aku's parents, King Emeka and Queen Ogi, were proud of their daughter and showered her with love and attention. The kingdom of Nkwerre was known for its wealth. It deal in gold, cocoa, and Ankara making. It is a place where people from far and wide came for their businesses. One day, a young man named Ejike arrived in Nkwerre from a distant land. He was there to purchase gold for his family business. Ejike was a handsome man with strong features and a warm smile. He was not from a wealthy family like Aku's, but he was hardworking and intelligent and from a noble background. When Aku and Ejike met in one of the king's gold shops, they were immediately drawn to each other. Aku fell in love with Ejike's charming personality and good looks, and Ejike was captivated by Aku's kindness and beauty. Princess Aku fell in love. It was love at first sight, and she overwhelmed with excitement. She rushed home, called out to her parents, "Father, mother, I have found him, the man I want to marry." She couldn't contain her joy, and her father, King Emeka, was surprised to see his daughter so happy. Although Aku had received numerous suitors, none of them could match the joy that her current love interest brought her. Upon hearing of their love, King Emeka was intrigued and asked Ejike to be brought to him and to see the man who had captured Aku's heart to the palace. Ejike was amazed by the wealth and grandeur of the palace, but also realized that he and the princess belonged to different social classes, for he had seen wealth where he came from, but none is compared to this. The king, upon seeing him, asked some questions about his family and all, immediately objected to the union, as he believed that Ejike was not in their class. AKU pleaded with her father to accept Ejike, but the king remained firm in his decision. Her mother was also afraid of what might happen if her daughter married below her social class. Despite her father's objection, Akeyu continued to see Ejike in secret. She would hide and disguise herself to meet him under the Udara tree that is in the middle of the village garden, said to belong to their gods, and they would get lost in their love. Days passed, and it was time for Ejik to go home. He had purchased and packaged his goods and was ready to leave. However, upon seeing him, Princess Aku burst into tears and begged him to let her come with him. Ejike vehemently refused, knowing that if the people of Nkwerre found out about their relationship, it could lead to trouble. But Akiu was persistent, and Ejike couldn't resist her tears and him too long for a life with, and deeply in love too. He let her come with him, but he was still scared of the trouble they might face. Upon arriving at the village of amidst, Ejike was happy to be home, but he was also scared to death. He knew that if the people of Nkwerre found out about Akiyu to be in their kingdom, they could face severe consequences. Akiyu begged Ejike to let her stay, and he was hesitant. However, her tears melted his heart, and he couldn't say no to her and decided to hide her in his room. The night came. Aku's parents waited for her to return home, but she never did. The princess was declared missing, for they searched everywhere in the kingdom for her, and the news of the missing princess of Nkwerre created a sense of confusion and panic among the people. Despite their best efforts, her whereabouts remained unknown. Ejike was fearful for his life and kept her hidden from his community. Together, they made the bold decision to flee to a small village known as Olu, which was renowned for its awe inspiring landscape of forested hillsides and towering peaks. The princess was immediately taken in by the village's stunning beauty, with its candelabra trees and the interplay of sunlight and shadows over the hillsides. They decided to start a new life together in this charming and peaceful place, motivated by their profound love for each other. They settled into a cozy home with a beautiful garden where they exchanged their vows in a heartfelt wedding ceremony. The night of their wedding was magical, with the dramatic moonlight casting enchanting shadows over the hillside and towering peaks. Despite the challenges they faced in adapting to their new lifestyle, they persevered with the unwavering support of each other. Ejike secured a job to sustain their living, while AKU cherished her morning and evening walks and grew their food with love and care. Their love for each other kept them going, and they were overjoyed to start their new life together in the charming village of Olu. They were grateful to have found each other and to be surrounded by such natural beauty. As the years passed in Nkwerre, the search for the lost princess gradually died down, and her people came to accept that she was gone forever. However, Ejike and his wife Aku had a different kind of longing. They yearned for a child, but despite Aku's tireless efforts to conceive, they remained childless. Eventually, Ejike decided it was time to go back to his village with Aku, hoping to start a new life there. For before he left, he told his father Ikena that he was starting a business in another land. When they arrived, the villagers welcomed them with open arms, and he introduced Akeyu to them as his wife, them unaware that Akeyu was the missing princess that had been missing for all these years. Although everyone loved Ekeyu and they made her feel welcome, the couple's inability to have a child casts a shadow over their happiness. Ekeyu became increasingly despondent and withdrawn, no longer the lively, charming, and vivacious person she once was. Ejik, meanwhile, began to distance himself from her and sought solace in alcohol. Despite the warmth of their welcome, it seemed that the couple's new life was not going to be an easy one. On a fateful day, Ejike stumbled upon Ola, a young lady from his community. She was strikingly beautiful, with features that set her apart from Akiyu, Ejike's longtime lover. Although Ola was not as captivating as Akiyu, she still possessed an undeniable charm that drew Ejike to her as they spent more time together. Dear viewers, subscribe, like, and share to know what fate lies for Raka and Ejike's love, how the gods, the land interferes in their love and destiny,